Shot with these ones yet. Probably tomorrow, I think, because Mandy has a photo shoot at 3 that she needs my help with, so unless I left like now, it'd be a little tight. Bye. Good morning, patrons. We have another question that I'm going to answer. This one is from Max, and he says, I have 2 questions. First, I'm filming with a Sony a7S II, and I'm searching for a good variable ND filter for it. You know, shooting log under 1600 ISO isn't doable. Do you have any recommendations? Not very expensive if possible. I was thinking buying a Tiffin variable ND, but if you have any other idea, I am interested. I've had a Tiffin variable ND. I was happy with it. I don't think they're that expensive. I mean, it's definitely relative. I would probably get a 77 millimeter one personally, because that covers most lenses that you're gonna end up using. Looks like it's 130 bucks on B&H, so not cheap, but it's not absurd either. So yeah, the Tiffin is a good option. The other option I would maybe consider is, I mean, you can get cheap ones on eBay and they work, but they're gonna shift as you sort of add more ND. And then I had another thought and I lost it there. Let me go back to this. But yeah, I mean, the Tiffin one's a pretty safe bet. Oh, I remember what it was. It's the E to EF mount ND throttle. There's a company that makes a photodiox. Yeah, this thing. Let's see. Shadaisy. They make this. It's like a Metabones adapter, but it also has a Vari-ND built right into it, which the nice thing about that is that you don't have to move it between lenses. Yeah, it's right in here. This blue ring is a little ND thing. I'm not sure that it's like the greatest in the world, but I've accidentally used it once or twice, and I was happy with it. So that's definitely another option, and it is $80. So it's another thing to consider. If we go back to the question, video about lenses, very interested in buying some Contax lenses, done some research, but I'm quite confused. That's a good answer. Asked if these are the ones that I'm using, wrong thing. So what I would say you should do for some wisdom on Contax advice is if you go and if you look up reduser.net Contax, I think it's on Reduser, there's this thread, Contax Zeiss Survival Guide, and it contains a lot of good info. So this is a good way to hopefully unconfuse yourself. But the long story short is basically that there are a lot of Contax lenses, so it's very easy to be confused. I'm not very good at this yet, guys, I apologize. So yeah, there are a bunch of different Contax out there. There's slower ones, faster ones, older ones, newer ones, ones made in different countries, but it's pretty hard to go wrong. Some of these things, like, you can definitely do some research and see which ones people prefer, but I've had AEGs and MMs and whatever else, and I didn't find a consistent thread that with me preferring one over the other so much as it came down to the individual lens, and so that was why I swapped out my 35 and 85 at one point for different ones. So vintage lenses are always a little bit of a guessing game, but you can go to places like KEH.com or eBay, and there are a lot available. And then you can get them, try them, and then if you like them, Do Close can cinemod them and declick the apertures and add focus gears and stuff, which I highly recommend if you're going to be using them as film lenses. But yeah, basically, they're old Contax, Zeiss stills lenses. There's a million of them out there, all different focal lengths and apertures and whatever else, sort of depending on what you're willing to spend. But if you do a little Googling, you can usually find a few people who have some thoughts on like what the best cheap ones are, what the best more expensive ones are, but you can always test them out on your own. There's some zooms people really like as well. And then usually, yeah, if you look at, I believe the link you sent was from Leitax, which is Leitax. They sell the adapters that you can make them EF mount, and they screw right on. They're pretty straightforward. A lot of them that you can buy already have EF mounts on them. Otherwise, you can buy the adapters and put them on there. I do think there's a cheaper version of the adapter that like just clicks on and off, but the Leitax ones like screw on and are permanent EF mounts basically. So I'd highly recommend those. Let me see, is there anything else to this question? Yeah, that's pretty much it. So I would say read that thread on RedUser, reduser.net, Zeiss Contax Survival Guide, if you want to learn more about the contacts, but there's a ton of stuff out there. I couldn't really give you too much advice other than buy within your budget and maybe you'll upgrade at some point. Variable ND filters, the Tiffin's a great one, 77 millimeters good. And then if you have to use other lenses with different fronts, I would just get step down rings, but that photodiox ND throttle mount adapter is also good. So hopefully this all worked really well. This is shot on my brand spanking new 80D with a new Rode VideoMic Pro Plus and my GorillaPod and my Casey Neistat setup. And so just sort of trying to get things like this together because it allows me to very quickly and easily make content for you guys, answer questions. So if anyone else has questions, shoot me a message. I've actually been really enjoying doing these like 5-minute Q&A type things. So yeah, thank you all so much for your support. Reminder about the meetup November 11th. You can find tickets. The link is on the feed if you want to check out new podcasts. Should be going up today or tomorrow, supersecretfilmcast.com. Watch the replay of the live video I did with Corey Weens because the edit for Kyle's video will go offline on Monday, so you should watch that ASAP. And doing another live video with director Stephen Gray this coming Wednesday. That one might be public. I gotta talk to him about it because the shoot is like not client or NDA, so there's no real reason it should have to stay on Patreon. I gotta talk to him about it. So we might do it publicly just for the sake of letting everyone else in on some of the fun. I have solved some of the technical issues with the live stream, so I apologize for the lag and frame rate issues last time. But we might make that one public, but if we do, maybe we'll do like a Google Hangout with Steven or something where you guys can ask questions. So that's it for now. I love you guys all, and I'll see you next time. Bye.